How to manifest your desires in 3 steps. That's what we're going to cover today, and that's what I'm going to help you guys to understand. And you can start to use this right now, and you will start to create your desires. You can even create them faster, easier, and effortlessly, because these steps are embedded or tied to your subconscious mind. And also with these steps, you're going to create what I call favorable conditions. All right, so let's begin. All right, so in order for you to understand and implement these steps or these methods, you have to kind of know how reality works from a subatomic level. Okay, so we all know about the law of attraction. We know positive attract positive, negative attract negative. That's the fundamental law that's tied to physics. Now, our reality, the fabric of reality, the things that you and I see, they're embedded from a subatomic level. Okay, and in that when they're embedded, they're also locked in with certain laws that you and I cannot change. They're ingrained in the universe. And these are the laws, or these are the methods that you're going to use to create and manifest the things you want. Okay, so the first component is this, and remember this: to manifest or create anything you want in your life, you have to create favorable conditions. That's a universal law. So what does Mark mean by favorable conditions? Well, let me start off by giving you an analogy or an example. Okay, so here in the US, okay, the region that I live in, we have different seasons. Okay, so we have hurricane season, right? So hurricane season runs between, let's say, July to maybe December. Okay, now we have scientists or meteorologists, and they can predict with accuracy how many storms are going to be produced during the season and how many will be major hurricanes. How do they know this? Well, they know this because of how reality or the nature of the universe works, or the nature of the planet works. Okay, here's a key: everything works with geometric exactitude or mathematical exactitude. Everything in the universe works in a pattern format. There's patterns, there's circles and cycles. Look in nature, everything comes around: winter, spring, summer, fall. Okay, certain conditions have to be right for certain plants and trees to grow. Those are called favorable conditions. All that is tied into quantum physics or quantum mechanics. See, that's already embedded. So you just have to learn to deliberately create the favorable conditions. Now let me go back to the hurricane analogy. All right, so these guys, they predict these storms, and they say, okay, we're going to have 3 major storms, or we're going to have 4 major storms. Guess what? By the end of the season, they're about 99% accurate or correct. Well, how do they know this? Well, they know this because of the favorable conditions. See, during that time of the year, I think off the coast of Africa, you get these cumulus clouds. They develop the humidity, the barometric pressure, okay, the jet stream. They're all at this perfect exactitude, okay, or they're at this perfect condition. And because when you have favorable conditions, you get results. And it's the same thing with when you want to create your reality. You have to produce favorable conditions. So you produce favorable conditions through the subconscious mind. The ingredients are there to create the favorable conditions. But what you do now, you can actually deliberately activate them, okay? I'm going to share with you the 3 steps that you can take right now that will activate favorable conditions in your life that will create your desires, okay? So you might want to write these down, because these are going to be very crucial and important for you. They're very simple, but we pass them over. Okay, I'm going to break them down to you, show you how they work also. All right. First favorable condition: you have to believe, okay, that what you want is possible. Okay, you don't necessarily have to believe now if it's a big goal. If you haven't worked on your subconscious mind, okay, you don't have to fully believe that, but you do have to believe it's possible for you to attain what you desire. Okay, so that's the first favorable condition. You see, when you have a belief, that now activates your subconscious mind. The universe works on belief. Our reality works on our perception. Therefore, that's tied into that ingrained law. So the belief is the first step. So once you have a belief in it now, you start to create the favorable conditions through quantum physics or quantum mechanics to create the conditions ready to materialize. That's the first, okay, step. Okay, the second step is you have to visualize your intended outcome goal. Now, not just regular visualizing, we have to use what we call creative visualization. That's pretty much different than what we call visualizing. When we access creative visualization, we access the creative mind, or the subconscious, or that higher mind, that higher consciousness. Now, how do you activate creative visualization? Very simple. Here's how you do it. You must visualize your desires in an end thinking format, okay? And you also must visualize them as normal, as if it's expected to happen. The beauty with creative visualization is when you do this, your emotions will follow the thought pattern or the visual pattern. So you don't have to exude or put a lot of energy to create any emotions, all right? Anytime you start to force or kind of push emotions, you're more active in the conscious part of the mind. You're not using the creative part. Because if it's something normal, the emotions will follow normal. Okay, so let's review. So we have number one, which is a belief that is possible for you. Number two, every night you must visualize your desires, okay? And the final component is faith. You must have faith, which leads to certainty that what you put out will come into reality. And why not? Faith is detachment, okay? So how does faith work? Well, guess what? Faith is tied to quantum physics and how the universe is embedded. Because see, guys, when you exercise faith, it's just a saying, well, you know what? I don't know how it's going to happen. I don't know when it's going to happen, but I just know and I feel it must happen. That's what faith is, okay? That is buying into quantum physics. Because here's what happens. When you exercise faith, you charge power within your subconscious mind to activate from the invisible to the visible. You have to remember that everything you see in the visible spectrum was once invisible. So it was already created in an invisible pattern. Then it transforms and becomes real or physical. And that's subatomic level, all right? So there you have it. Those 3 steps right there will get you to create your desires faster. Because what happens now when you exercise those 3 steps right there, you create now the favorable conditions. See, just like those storms, hurricanes, just like plants grow in a certain climate, it has no choice but to manifest. Think about it. If you plant a tree in a certain climate with a favorable condition, it must grow that plant. You can't say, hey, stop growing. It doesn't hear you. It's going to grow. Same thing with the hurricanes and the storms. If the favorable conditions produce, you can't go there and say, hey, stop. It's the same thing with your creation, man. That's how powerful it is. So you exercise belief, creative visualization, and faith. The universe has no choice but to create and manifest it for you. Right? So those are the 3 steps that you can start using now, and you can create faster, effortlessly, and you'll see it come into fruition. All right? So keep that in mind, guys, and thank you. And also, you can check the link below. Facebook group, website is up. Take advantage of all the programs that offer to help you to raise your consciousness, to create more, to become a deliberate creator. You can get access to all my teaching methods and materials there as well. All right? And thank you guys for tuning in and watching, and I'll create another insightful content. All right, guys. Thanks.